or the raw power of the F-18 that, again, the Blue Angels are known for. We can come in fast, low, being upside down, or knife edge, or peeling into the vertical, going straight up. It's phenomenal. It's exciting flying.
Fly the airplane very aggressively. You get to fly upside down every day. You have a little bit more freedom. It's fun. It is fun.
Some solo maneuvers, like the 300-mile-an-hour low transition, fire up the pilots as well as the crowd.
It's a low flight as I basically take off, transition, and getting the gear and the flaps up as I accelerate. And then once I get to the end of the runway, I'll just pitch the nose up to about 65, 70 degrees nose up and climb out. Just like a bat out of hell.
Make no mistake, the solo maneuvers are as exacting as the Diamond and feature some daring crossing patterns. In the opposing minimum radius turn, Jets 5 and 6 fly line abreast at 400 miles an hour, away from the crowd. Over center point, they'll roll their jets 270 degrees and cross. Then they'll circle back around to cross again.
Not only is it somewhat of a cheat to make these airplanes look like we are going to hit, but then we have circles to contend with. We're trying to get that second hit back over center point. That's the most challenging, I think, for my cockpit.
Near the demo's end, the solo and Diamond pilots join together in the 6-jet Delta formation. For spectators and pilots alike, this is precision flying at its best and most memorable.
When I think of the Blue Angels, I think of the after going through all the solo maneuvers, you check in on the radio for the first time as the entire team. It's fun to have everybody there. We're all flying, 6 good buddies, and we're flying maneuvers. Who's not going to smile about that and enjoy it?
The demo's last maneuver is the pitch-up brake. Flying the Delta, the 6 jets pull up and peel off to the left in succession. Each pilot follows boss, circling back before touching down in single file. The show may be over, but the work on the demo is never done. Every day for 10 months, the squadron strives for greater precision, trying to make each maneuver smoother, steadier, and tighter.
At the end of the season, when we come by the crowd, they're really looking at us going, "Oh, that is tight." And it will be. It'll be 18 inches, sometimes inside of 18 inches on certain maneuvers.
Blue Angel pilots arrive from the fleet with sound aviation skills, confidence, and determination. But for most, flying the demo proves to be something completely different.
It was a very humbling experience. I learned the meaning of the word try during that 2-year tour more than ever before in my flying years, and I think when I left the Blue Angels, I was probably the best pilot that I had ever been in my life.
Each year, there's no shortage of pilots looking for the chance to become a Blue Angel. As applicant officer, opposing solo Craig Olson oversees the process, which includes selecting new members for next year's team.
We're about 2 weeks out from our window where the applicants need to have their forms in, all their application packages in. We're probably about 2.5 months from when they'll actually get selected as finalists. So we're starting to knock it down right now. We're learning the names and faces. Take from there.
But while the planning for next year's team is running smoothly, this year's team is facing a setback.
I'm not some incredible pilot by all means. I had to always work hard to get where I am.
every night I'll come back and be it a good day or bad day, I'll come back and just go over the day, just be exhausted. Man, this is tough. I don't know what caused it, but I got pretty sick. Just a very bad cold to the point where I was very dizzy. Just it affected me naturally like I knew with anybody else.
But a Blue Angel pilot isn't just anybody else. Barely a month into the show season, Major Shipley, who flies the number 3 jet, is missing from a pre-flight practice briefing. Flight surgeon Gary Muller did a preliminary diagnosis.
I think he had a common head cold. He was concerned that he's not feeling well, may present the safety of flight.
That concern means taking no chances. For now, the team will proceed without him.
It doesn't happen very often where you have guys that are sick. Typically, in naval aviation, all the aircrew are pretty healthy people. Everybody works out, everybody eats fairly healthy.
That's not under break.
If somebody needs to stay down, then what happens is the slot pilot number 4 will fill that spot in the diamond. So if 4 goes down, then it's just 1, 2, and 3 in normal positions. But if 2 or 3 goes down, then 4 will fill that side, and that's what Ron's going to do.
There are no replacement pilots waiting in the wings. Only if Boss is sidelined while the squadron cancel the demo. With Major Shipley staying down, they'll fly short-handed for the time being. But a prolonged absence would have a significant effect on the team.
2 or 3 months into the season to lose a guy, that's tough because you're just starting to click. I mean, you've sweated and bled all through winter training to get the team ready to go on the road. Take a guy and, rip him out of there for whatever reason, and now you've got issues. There's been all kinds of issues because now you've got Varmint filling in for him, which is different. You've got a guy's voice missing in the check-ins for every maneuver, which is different. And you've got just the emotional disruption of having a guy on the sidelines, a guy that you trained with and you selected for the team, and you want to be here. So it's really hard to get through that.
Boss Bartlett's had prior experience losing a demo pilot. Last year, he lost the team's opposing solo, Len Anderson, who suffered a collapsed lung with 4 weeks left in the season. The squadron had no choice but to go on without him, flying a 5-jet demo for the remainder of the year.
Nothing was more difficult as far as my time on the team when I, physically could not fly in for 3 months. That personal challenge was very difficult. I'm glad I made it through a year. My health has been fine. The job we do is very physically demanding, and I think if you thought of it more as like a football team or a basketball team or a hockey team, the Blue Angels are not about the individual, it's about the team. It's going to work. The team keeps rolling. Since 1946.
Each team, down through the history of the Blue Angels, is made up of individuals. And every team has its individual personalities and all the things that go along with that. And what you have to do is overcome that and say, look, we are a team that has to perform precisely together. Our minds and our bodies have to be working exactly together up there in those formation maneuvers. But you really have to put the team and what you're doing above all else.
Grounding a pilot for a head cold may seem overly cautious, but there's a good reason for it.
Having a cold is not in and of itself grounding. The big thing, I think, that grounds people in all of naval aviation is the inability to clear your ears, as we call it. And it's no different than when you feel your ears pop as you drive over a mountain or if you fly in a commercial airplane. If you can't let air into the middle ear, you can't equalize the pressure, and that causes pain and discomfort. And the last thing that our pilots need to have is a distraction while they're flying.
Major Shipley's illness points out the challenge pilots face keeping healthy during the season. While they're in top